Okay, final topic. Let's talk some Avatar sequels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actor that plays Jake Sully, but he was actually just talking about how these are going to be just blow our minds. Sigourney Weaver and James Cameron have been saying the same thing. Sigourney Weaver even said in her opinion.
Yeah, but, I mean, the original Avatar. Let's think about what blew our mind. When I think about it, I think it's like the first movie I ever saw in 3D.
Yeah.
And I think there was that visually impressive aspect with a decent story.
That was one of the few movies in 3D where 3D made that movie an experience. It was awesome.
Yeah, but it was like early on. They don't even make 3D movies really anymore.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, there's all
Well,
the time.
I mean, you think about when you're buying them for home and stuff like that, 3D is just not that selling point that it used to be.
Definitely, yeah, they stopped making 3D TVs, and the whole market for 3D fizzled and never took off. In the theater, they're still making them for all their movies. I don't know. I never go to 3D movies unless I absolutely have to, or unless it's a really good movie.
Either,
like
unless
Avatar.
I know it's a better experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this movie was an experience in 3D. I mean, James Cameron just hit it out of the park with this. And you know what's amazing about James Cameron movies is none of them. The stories tend to be original ideas, but something about James Cameron, the way he does them. Like Titanic. I mean, it was Romeo and Juliet on a boat. Why was that movie so amazing?
Great performances, great writing.
Yeah, but I like the music,
the thing is,
score.
what he also never does, he never does sequels. So when you see it, it's like an original idea.
Aliens was a sequel. Terminator 2.
Aliens was a sequel, but he didn't do the first Alien movie.
He did Terminator 1 and 2.
John Carpenter did the first Alien movie, right?
Didn't Ridley Scott?
Or Ridley Scott, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
He did do Terminator 1 and 2.
He did 1 and 2?
Mm-hmm. But
it was 10 years apart?
Something like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, don't get me wrong. He just got this magic. Like, take Avatar. It's almost like that movie Fern Gully, about nature versus people taking over it. It wasn't an original idea.
I really thought about that, yeah.
Or Dances with Wolves, right? You get to the natives, you see how much more respectful they are and how we're being detrimental and not being respectful. I mean, it wasn't an original idea, but it was fucking awesome. He ties these not necessarily new story ideas and takes themes that have been said before, but he brings new life into them, and the music in all of his movies are always so fucking awesome and iconic that really tie everything together, and his visual spectacle is always awesome. He just seemed to have this magic touch. I don't know.
And I know we just talked about her, Zoe Saldana.
Mm-hmm.
Great. The actor that plays Jake Sully, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was great in that movie. I don't think he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost like a cancer to some films.
Really?
Like.
You think so?
But he was great in that movie.
I think he's a good actor. Sigourney Weaver's going to be back, which will be interesting to see how they do that. But they're making 3 sequels. No. Is it 4?
Like one after another? Concurrently? Or?
Yeah, they're going to be filming them all together. Obviously, they'll probably be doing most of the first one or first 2 right away, so that they can start getting these movies out. Similar to the way that they did
like
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think he said 4 sequels. Hold on a second. Where did I put this? Avatar.
I mean, I guess if you're filming in front of a green screen the whole time, you can.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a lot of underwater stuff with this. Yeah, 4 Avatar sequels. 4 that we're going to be doing with this. But Sigourney Weaver was saying, in my opinion, the 3 scripts I've read so far are many times more amazing than the first one in terms of their scope. He did a lot of the heavy lifting in the first movie.
She's trying to get a paycheck.
That's not Sigourney. She doesn't need, you know what I mean? Not usually when you hear that from these.
What, do you think she got Ghostbuster money laying around?
Yeah,
or Ghostbuster 2?
I think that her dad used to be the president of NBC. She's always had money going into stuff like that. But anyway, I mean, knowing her, no, I don't think that she'd say something like this. Do you doubt that, though, that this stuff is going to be not bigger and better? Knowing James Cameron?
I think it sounds like actor speak to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, oh, the scripts I've seen are wonderful.
Right.
We'll see. It sounds like press junket stuff. These are like canned responses you give when you're out there plugging Avatar 2.
Yeah, when you're talking to junkets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
the storyline apparently is going to really follow family. So I think it's rumored that this might take place like 8 years after the first Avatar, which would line it up story-wise because it's been, what did it come out, 2009? So yeah, close to that, although we don't know when this movie's actually going to come out. It's probably going to be a few years. But it's going to follow Jake, Neytiri, and their children, and more of a family saga about the struggle with the humans. This will be interesting, and who knows what 3, 4, and 5 are going to be about. I can't believe they're doing 4 sequels. But man, they're probably...
That to me is like
bring in some huge buck, and I'm excited to have another 3D experience at the theater that I'm actually pumped to go see.
I hope so.
Because other than
that actor's name is Sam.
Yep, Worthington.
Sam Worthington.
That's right.
Yep. I'm wondering how they're going to bring Stephen Lang and Sigourney Weaver back.
Well, Sigourney Weaver, she didn't get the full transfer to the new body, but she tried passing through what they called
maybe she's part of the mother tree now?
Exactly, right? It's kind of got to be, which would make sense. Yeah. There's a good way to do that without seeming too cheesy. And then there's some of the humans that were still left from the first movie. But apparently we're going to see a lot more of the planet, which is going to be cool because we really didn't get to see much of it other than that jungle that was right by the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget. God,
the animals were cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the originality of it was pretty good. I mean, it was kind of like Fern Gully, but it had its own little things.
Yeah.
Like, I remember
the themes
scene
weren't
where
new,
he jumps
but all
off
the
the
visuals.
helicopter, and then that cat thing comes out.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
The hammerhead animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The floating mountains.
The floating mountains were pretty badass.
When he learns to fly on whatever they call that, I don't remember what they called it.
What was that?
Yeah, on those animals.
What they call that, Turok or?
Yeah, something like that. When
the big one with the
Turok toe or something like that, whatever they call that bond. But watching him fly and learn that and the way that was shot, that was amazing, especially in 3D. Do you remember when he was on the top of that giant tree and you could see down and it looked like it was like a mile away? That was so awesome. I'm pumped for this.
No, yeah, I mean, visually the movie was stunning because it was the first of its kind.
What do you mean, first of its
I'm just wondering how you're going to kind of catch lightning in a bottle again.
That's one of the things I was wondering is, even if this movie's really great, is it going to be like you can't top it, like you can't top the first Avengers movie?
That's tough. So I don't. That's a different comparison. Age of Ultron was not to the caliber that the first Avengers movie was.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not necessarily topping it as far as a better movie, but can you ever capture that magic of experiencing something for the first time again?
That's just it. I mean, think about that first movie. You had Zoe Salander's character, I apologize. Neytiri?
Mm-hmm.
Was that her name?
Yep.
So you had her meeting Jake Sully, and you had that whole she knew he wasn't real aspect of it, but somehow they still created this bond and this relationship, this love story in a way. And then you had the Sigourney Weaver where she was the teacher, the mentor kind of thing. But then you still had the bad guy that was played by
the general.
No, it wasn't even the general. It wasn't Stephen Lang's character. It was that guy from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, the pencil pusher corporate guy.
Yeah, well, who's a great actor. I love that guy. But you had him that was kind of pushing the buttons. So you had that kind of friction with the whole thing.
Right.
And then ultimately, I think the movie was more discovery. I mean, with the use of 3D, I really feel like we experienced it firsthand.
Yeah.
Like we were discovering this planet with Jake Sully. And that made it exciting for people to see. So how are you going to capture that, or how are you going to take that and put it into a story that people are going to want to still invest their attention and their money in, ultimately?
I think that knowing James Cameron, that's something that I would definitely bank on. I mean, he's like got so many ideas, and with what technology's progressed so far. I mean, take the scenes, especially when you watch them in 3D, and how colorful they were, like the forest at night with all the neon, or those giant blooming, circular petals that would like zip when you touch them and stuff like that. when you think about it, those are very simplistic ideas. Give yourself a
But
decade.
they were the first time we'd ever saw something like that.
Totally agree. But I mean, I don't even know how. I wouldn't even thought of something like. Imagine what he's probably come up with over the past 10 years as far as idea. I mean, he says that a lot of this movie's going to be shot underwater so that they're like floating stuff. Can you imagine what's done there in 3D? What? I'm excited for this just because I have no idea, but I have a lot of faith in his creativity. Look how many things that he's come up with that are really cool.
I'd like to see the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Well, they haven't even started production yet.
I need to be wowed by the trailer.
Right.
Something that's going to get my excitement level back up to where it was when I first saw Avatar.
I've got a good feeling it probably will. If I had to bet money, if I had to bet money, I bet it probably will. Well, it's going to start production this June. So let's see if it says currently scheduled to hit theaters Christmas 2018. Wow, that's fast. Isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, you're talking a lot of computer animated stuff.
I guess I don't know what their time frame, what their shooting schedule was even like for the first one. And stuff's come a long way too. I mean, movies are, look at that, they're doing Star Wars every 2 years, whereas George Lucas would do them every 3. So, but then again, he probably did everything.
Well, that tells me they at least have part of a script written.
Oh, all the scripts have been done for a while.
And they're starting to do it.
Scripts have been done for a while, they said. He's been fine-tuning them, but he said that those have been done for a long time. A lot of the in the last year or so lead up from what I've been reading is pre-production, planning, and also finishing off the technology so they will be able to do the things he wants to do in this. So the scripts have been done for years.
Well, I hope that's the case too, though. Because so much of Hollywood anymore is we have an idea, we have half the script written, let's start shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And then actors are literally getting pages as you're in production.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't even have an end of the movie written before you start shooting it.
Yeah, but that's not James Cameron.
But that's so much of Hollywood anymore.
Sure, no, I don't disagree.
And let's hope that it's the case.
Because I remember, what was it, a few years ago, I was reading, he had 2 and 3 done. He was working on 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most technical guy that plans everything to the T and is a fucking perfectionist. And very few studios will trust him with a $300+ million budget for a movie and know they're going to get their money back and then some too. So,
you know, when I think about Cameron, though, you watch Entourage, right?
Yeah.
All I can think of right now is when he was doing Aquaman in Entourage. So, sorry. I'm stuck on that.
No, that's
right now.
kind of a good testament. I mean, look at all the stuff that he was doing leading up to that, even in that fictitious world. You know, I mean, in that fictitious movie of Aquaman,
Mandy Moore and I can't remember the actor's name.
I can't either. I can't remember it. The fact that in this fictitious movie, he actually had someone engineer an actual gun that shot what do you call them, harpoons, and he had to practice and actually aim the thing. That's such a James Cameron thing. Like, you don't really need to do that for a movie. We can fake it. No, fuck it, we're gonna do it. No, I'm really gonna have you go do scuba diving with this guy that is gonna drain your energy and stuff. I mean, that totally is James Cameron. The Abyss is finally gonna be coming home in high definition, finally, after 20 some years.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And man, have you ever watched the documentary and how that was shot? Like that, the main female lead doesn't even talk to him anymore because like he's an intensive. I mean, they shot so much of that underwater; it was really straining.
Didn't she almost drown though?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, "All right, cut. You need to get your shit together. We're gonna shoot this scene again."
At one point, they were all down there underwater and the lights went out. You know how scary that must have been?
That'd be enough for me to say, yep, nope.
Uh-huh. I mean,
go fuck yourself.
This guy likes pushing the limit, but man, does that come through on screen? All that passion and care, and especially his technical ability too. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just thought that was cool because it's been so long since we saw the original movie, and we've been hearing about sequels forever. Well, now they're finally ramping up to production, and some of the stuff has started to come out from some of the actors who are all, surprise, surprise, very excited and happy with what they have seen from the script so far.
He always struck me as the guy that didn't do sequels though.
Well, besides the Terminator
Cameron,
movies, I don't
John
think
Carpenter.
he has he?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, he's always like, I don't do sequels. That was kind of one of those things.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, what else did he do? He did True Lies, and besides
True Lies was a really good movie, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Terminator movies never were great after he left. Sam Worthington was in that other movie, that other Terminator movie too. What was?
Salvation.
I liked that. I thought it was good. I liked him in it.
It was good until the end. Once his character gave up his heart to
John Connor,
Bale.
right?
No, Christian Bale.
Yeah, to John Connor.
John Connor. It was just kind of like,
I thought that was cool. I don't know. Whatever, you're wrong, I'm right.
Christian Bale was a douchebag in that movie anyway.
You didn't like him in that role? It was a very different
John Connor. He got a
Connor.
pretty bad reputation in that.
Yeah, I remember McGee, the director, was talking about that, and he said he's a very intensive actor, but that one scene, he said, well, that's not super uncommon. That's not, I don't know. I'm not going to defend him or whatever, but...
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and then they released that thing where he was like yelling
Screaming.
at like an extra or a hand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to shoot a shot. Like, whatever.
Because we don't even know what the context of that was. Was this guy constantly doing something that was tripping up what they were doing for? Who knows? But probably
maybe he missed lunch. His grip didn't bring the lunch to his trailer, so he's low blood sugar.
Yeah. Definitely not something you want to get out to the internet. But
yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, any last thoughts on Pandora?
I hope it's good. I really enjoyed the first one.
Do you really think there's any chance this isn't going to be great? When has James Cameron made a movie that's not, honestly?
I don't know.
Yeah, bitch.
Let me go through his catalog.
We'll go ahead and sum it up there.
Everybody makes it done.
You can jump back into your Game of Thrones and start enjoying season 3.
I need to. I'm gonna start watching season 3 now.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. We'll have to make sure that we got you.
Let
set
me
up
know
for
if
that,
there's any episodes that you want me to watch other than 9.
Okay. For the reaction, I'll look back through that there as long as we get that, and I'll see if we got time for some more. But we'll delve through that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Fractured Focus episode number 13, the show where we obsess about everything from geek culture to nerd news, along with random topics for discussion. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends as we post the topic of the show each day of the week, Monday through Thursday, and try to entertain you with our semi-witty banter and our incessant rambling and lots of Game of Thrones delayed talk. I'm so pumped you finally got into this stuff. This is gonna be
speed
fun.
it up.
Hopefully the season 2 reaction audio comes through somewhat decently. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
I hope so. Oh, yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
I think that was a good hour 15.
We'll cross our fingers.
Rambling.
I'll see how much I can save, but we'll make sure we go through our checklist next. So our apologies to you, those of you that are watching the reaction if the audio didn't come through well. Until next time.